see some audio, but I don't see browser audio. Hang on. How about now? Now we got audio for everybody. Yay.
All right.
I'm ready to start streaming. And I've been streaming
All
for
right.
a minute and a half. We're good. We good.
Streaming times.
Audio.
So before going live, Alina and I were talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and
Real good.
now we're going to talk about it live, because I was like, we shouldn't deprive our viewers of our great
Baldur's
Gate 3
Gate.
plans.
Yeah.
So who was your person was a barbarian?
Yes.
You said.
I
What else?
literally recreated my D&D character Ugna in Baldur's Gate. She's real fun. I'll bring up a picture of her later. She's just a half orc barbarian with a great big hammer. She will hit things with that hammer real good. And so my first playthrough was like a really sort of like vanilla good, because I don't like making people mad at me, playthrough. So she saved a bunch of people. She like partied with the tieflings. Romanced Karlach, of course, because she was too goody two shoes for Asterion to like her for very long. Which means I now have to go back and do a dirge run through where I am more evil and also with Asterion more often.
So I'm being a good guy, Dirge.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably be a dirge resist.
Because and the secret to getting Asterion to like you is I'm metagaming, so I'm like, it's time to save some children. So Astarion and Lae'zel go back to camp.
Yep.
Will and Karlach and Gale, you're in. So like before even getting the tiefling party, I had maxed out Gale's liking me.
Amazing.
By accident. I wasn't even trying, because I'm playing as a bard dirge.
Nice.
Who has super high charisma, super high dexterity.
The Dragonborn dirge, or did you do a different race?
No, I'm a tiefling, because this character was made for Astarion, so
yes,
he's a
I
dirge,
was also going to do a tiefling.
And the tieflings
dirge.
can read Astarion's back.
Really?
Because it's an infernal.
Yeah.
So I'm a dirge tiefling who's a bard. And like I said, he has maxed out charisma and maxed out dexterity. And then I gave them the lowest constitution and the lowest strength possible.
Nice.
So if you blow on my dirge too hard, he dies.
Right. Whereas like my fighter was fucking indestructible by the end of the game. I could do so much damage and I had so much hit points. It was frankly ridiculous.
So basically what I do is like I pick who's going to be on my team for an area, and then try to do all the stuff that they like. But Gale really likes it when you talk your way out of fights.
Yes, and you're a bard, so that's your thing.
Which is so that's why I accidentally he loves me. And too bad for him. This character was made for Astarion. I also do you know about Night Song points?
No.
Okay, so apparently Shadowheart has secret Night Song points.
Oh.
And that is what determines if she kills the Night Song without your interference.
Right. Interesting.
And so it's stuff like there's the Selûne statue near the Blighted Village.
Yeah.
You basically have to make her hand act up I think 4 times at least. Like there's 7 chances for it to act up
before she gets sick of Char's bullshit.
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha.
but because I was taking her to all the night song points places, I also got really high with Shadowheart, so she hit on me before the party. So I know that next time I talk to Astarion, he's gonna hit on me. So I'm like, we got to kill all these goblins before I talk to Astarion again. Because I like his dialogue during the Tiefling party more than his dialogue before hitting on you in the Tiefling party. I want to hear him being upset about being a hero.
Yes. You have to do a good thing, Astarion. Suck it up,
huh?
sir. You have to do a
Yeah.
good thing, Astarion. Suck it up.
But I'm also Astarion likes it when you're funny. So even though my Dirge is a good boy, he's a funny good boy.
Perfect.
So Astarion is liking him because he's keeps
sarcastic.
Yeah. Like when the red cap was disguised as a sheep.
Yes.
I bought at it. And when you're talking to the vampire hunter, and you can be like, oh, so you're not after a real vampire, just a spawn.
Yeah.
And have Astarion be like, I don't know, spawns can be dangerous. And then after the guy is all like, yeah, no, they are dangerous, and says his whole spiel about vampires, one of your responses, you can go, interesting. What do you think, Astarion? And so I picked that, and he does think that's funny, and he like knows that you're doing a bit if you say that.
Oh, that's good. I like a companion sense of humor.
Yeah. But yeah, just when saving all the tiefling kids, I was like, all right, Astarion, sit at camp.
Yeah, you go stay over there for a while, buddy. We can't have you here right now. We're gonna go do some good shit.
We're gonna save some kids.
You're not gonna like it.
I did successfully poison the goblins at their party.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that you could do that?
I did not.
Okay, their little tin where they're all drinking out of.
Oh.
You can put the poison that Nettles gives you.
Oh, good.
In their booze.
Very good.
And it kills all the weaker goblins, and the stronger goblins are then at half health.
So my whole thing was I knew I was going to play the game more than once. So the first time I went through, I'm like, we're going super vanilla, like minimal walkthroughs, only if I'm really like, what will this decision do? I'm going to just play based on vibes, like just the vibes of my character. I'm going to play as Ugna, so it'll be whatever she would do in a game, and that was fun. I know I missed a bunch of stuff, and I had a fun couple endings. The first one I got was the most tragic, but also kind of the most satisfying story-wise for what my character would have actually done. Because she had been romancing Karlach, of course. So I had these two big, beefy girlfriends who could murder everything in the world. And she was respecting Karlach's choices. So when Karlach was like, no, I don't want to go back to, I don't want to go back to hell, even if it means that I could live. I was like, you know what? I will respect that. You know, we're both warriors. We could die any day anyway. So you live while you can, and then I guess you'll have to die because your heart's acting up. End of the game. I had held out, resisted eating any tadpoles, resisted turning into a half illithid. And at the very end, when it was like, look, it's either you or the king of the Githyanki, and I was like, God damn it, I'm so noble. I'm finally gonna give up my soul and my future and save the world. So did that, and then I was like, but I would not live this way. So when Karlach was gonna go die, I was like, I guess I am dying too. And so in my headcanon, They died arm in arm while Karlach burned to death. It was very heroic and very melodramatic.
Tragic lesbian backstory.
Hell yes. That was my
Real,
first
really,
ending.
really living up to bury your gaze there, Alina.
Yeah, I know, but it was very my character. She would definitely have done that. And then I reloaded and saved scummed, and I was like, yeah, but I want Karlach to live. What happens if she lives? And so we ended up in a polyamorous relationship with Karlach and Will, running around in Avernus, living at the House of Hope, slaughtering demons,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great way
Yep.
to end the game. That's perfection.
I want to play as Will in Romance Karlach.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Because they have some cute extra scenes.
Nice.
Like Karlach gives Will horn care tips.
Aww.
After he gets his horns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like cause before even buying the game, I had already broken the seal of like looking things up. So
Right.
I was just like full on, all right, I'm just gonna I'm still keeping with my guy. He's gotta be funny. He's a
Yep.
funny dirge.
Yep.
He does frequently talk about murder, but he is resisting doing the murders.
Good.
Um, cause
He's never curious, but he's like, I'm not giving it.
it's almost like he isn't thinking about what he's saying, how it would come off, because
Right.
he says like when you meet Auntie Ethel as the dirge, one of the options is you can say, I kind of want to rip your face off, like just unprompted. And she kind of's like, oh, you're cheeky, sassy, like
You're like, I could though.
because obviously,
Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
it's a thing I
well,
could do.
obviously she's brushing it off because she's hag, but
Exactly.
it's just funny that you're like, so I kind of want to like rip your face off and eat it.
Is that weird? Is that weird? Am I coming on too strong?
And then when you meet Astarion and he says he almost spilled your guts everywhere, you were like, I kind of want to see your guts. And just stuff like that.
Normal flirting, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
flirting, right? I want to see your guts on my bedroom floor.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's understandable why this dirge would still save the kids.
Yeah.
But is like, hey kids, I'm gonna help fund your fledgling criminal empire.
Good.
And the kids are like,
Maul is the best. I love Maul. I would die for Maul.
did Maul ask you to steal the statue?
Yeah.
Did you successfully steal the statue?
I did not.
I made sure that we pulled off a heist. Being a bard is with Astarion is a great double team heist thing, because
that's just a heist movie in itself.
the bard performing does make all the NPCs run over to appreciate the bard's music. Nice. So they're not looking at Astarion while he's stealing everything.
Good.
Did you fight the Shadow Druids?
No.
Okay. There is a way to stop the ritual before you save Hallison, and that is you find out that there are Shadow Druids behind this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I bumbled my way through there. I didn't even get Halcyon. I just so me going through the Goblin Camp the first time as Ugna was just like, well, these people are clearly assholes. The absolute sucks, and I hate them. So what have I heard? They got some drow in charge Okay, cool. I can't find the leader because I'm still wandering around trying to look for the leader. I think I misunderstood that Minthara was the leader. So I was like, if I just kill
There's 3
her,
leaders.
then I can just get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here. So I like stealthed into her office and then just murdered her in cold blood. She didn't even have a chance to do any dialogue at me. I think I didn't even know she was an NPC that I could recruit. She was just done.
Mhm.
She was very dead very soon. And then it was later when I was looking at the list of companions, I was like, oh shit, Minthara was an option. Huh, well, she's very dead now.
Yeah. Um
She's very dead, and I don't feel like
Minthara
Save's coming to go get her, so RIP.
Minthara is a little undercooked,
Mm,
character-wise. Cause so originally it
Drow
was
also aren't my
either,
favorite, so I was like, I'm not going back to the Drow, whatever.
um, I want to play as a lady drow because I found out you can bully every single male drow you come in contact with if you're a female drow.
Of course.
Uh, yeah. Like, did you find the petrified drows
Yes,
next
yeah.
to the
The boulder.
did the wizard survive the encounter?
Yes.
So so when you talk to him as a lady drow,
Yeah.
you can just order him to give you his research,
Oh my
and
god.
he tries to like weasel out of it, and you'd be like, "No, just give it to me.
And he's like, ah, of course I
You're a
have
dumb
to.
boy, and I'm in charge. Give me your
Yeah.
shit. Give me your lunch money." And he has to. He has to because
This is Drow. Yeah.
Drow society says ladies in charge.
And he's like, god damn it.
And he
Just...
grumbles about you stealing his life's work.
Yep.
But he does give it to you. Uh Also, the best parts about Minthara are just you can ask her opinion on everyone else at camp,
Oh, good.
and she hates Gale.
Yeah. No, of course. I
She just
Gale came off
yeah.
real strong. I did not like Gale at first. He was just like, I won't explain why, but I need to eat all your magic items. And I'm like, fucking chill, buddy. Please explain why. And he's like, I will not. And I'm like, I guess I'm gonna starve you until you explode then, because like I got like one magic item so far, babes. And you're not eating it.
You can just tell him to kill himself, and then you can win the game early.
Yeah. Except Withers is like, I don't think
Um
that was the right ending. You should try again.
Whatever, Withers. Gale can blow himself up if he wants.
You're not God anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, you are, but you are not currently. It's complicated.
Yeah. But yeah, so like she likes Karlach because who could hate Karlach? No one. Like that's how you know Minthara is not a complete monster. She likes Karlach.
Yeah, yeah.
And her describing Lae'zel is basically her making hard eyes at Lae'zel. And I was like, man, everyone ships Lae'zel and Shadowheart. They're missing out on murder lesbian ship.
Oh god, yes. Oh yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
Minthara is just like, I haven't met that many Githyanki, but now that I know Lae'zel, I want to learn more about their culture. And you'd be like, well, you could just ask Lae'zel, and she's like, I did, and she said that there was nothing that I couldn't learn simply by watching her. And I have been watching her, and she cuts such a striking figure in battle. And it's
Ooh,
basically just hard eyes,
hat.
hard eyes, hard eyes, hard eyes. Like,
Hat.
um,
I mean,
and
that's basically the same way that Lizelle came onto my character because she just came
yeah,
over and she was like, "You fight really good. Let's fuck." And I was like,
yeah. No, she likes your
okay,
stank.
yeah,
She she likes your stank.
yeah."
And then Minthara thinks Shadowheart's an idiot.
She's not wrong.
Yeah. And she thinks Astarion's never gonna get his shit together until he kills his master, so we should get on
Also,
that.
not wrong. Also, she's got that one very correct.
Yes. And then for Will, she's like, he's a hypocrite, but I'd rather have him be willing to get his hands dirty than just some useless, self-righteous idiot. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
She calls it
So
like
she's
she
like,
sees it.
yeah, and then you ask her Gale, and she's like,
Eat that
I
fucker.
will have opinions for people that will live longer than a week.
Whew.
And you'd be like, what? And she goes, wizards, as soon as they leave their tower, have the life expectancy of a gnome on the battlefield. Because either the enemy realizes their threat and targets them immediately, or they blow themselves up.
Fair. That's fair.
And she's like, and Gale is just blowing himself up in slow motion. So
yes. Good. Yeah. No, accurate. Where's the line?
And then you go talk to all the people to have their reaction to recruiting Minthara.
Mm-hmm.
And Gale's like, she kind of doesn't like me, but I'll win her over.
Gale.
It's like, Gale, no.
No.
And then my favorite bit of in between character dialogue, you know, when you're walking around with them.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And they talk to each other.
Yep.
I think my favorite bit so far is Minthara says to Gale, do you have any older siblings, Master Wizard? And he goes, you're about to say something horrible, aren't you? And she says, we're my people. We kill the third son because they're useless even for breeding purposes. You strike me as a third son.
He's got that third son energy.
Yeah. Get the third son energy. And so I'm going to play as a female drow next and
Good.
bully / romance Gale.
Good.
Drow sorceress, because
nice.
Sorcerers can also bully Gale.
That's true, because wizards and sorcerers do not get along.
Yeah. Every time he's like talking about how much he studied, you can be like, oh, you studied and read a whole bunch? I was just born doing it.
Yeah. That sucks for you, bud.
Yeah.
I was partying it up over here at Magic
Sucks
Town.
that you had to work so hard.
Yeah. I know you're so good at magic that you like bone down on the goddess of magic and everything, but like you still have to go to school for how long? How long?
Yeah. You got gray in your hair, sir.
Yeah.
Also, there is fun dialogue for every species that you play as.
Nice.
And Githyanki have the most.
Mm-hmm. They also were like the least chosen by the stats. There was like a stat on,
which is a shame because they're missing out on what is a cat.
Good.
When you talk to the tiefling couple about their plans for Baldur's Gate, and the wife is like, "We could get a little cat."
You're like, "What the fuck is a cat?"
Your Githyanki answer is, "What is a cat?"
Excellent.
And all the characters and species have different responses to the hopscotch outline that you see in the Blighted Village.
Yep.
And the Githyanki, who is not Lae'zel, so playing as Lae'zel doesn't get you this. The Githyanki seeing it goes, what are these strange inscrutable markings on the ground? And when Astarion's mirror scene comes up, Githyanki have the best response. Which when he asks, what do you see when you look at me? And you'd be like, a vampire elf who is 5'10", medium build.
Good.
And then he goes, oh, would it kill you to give me a compliment? To give anyone a compliment for once? And then your compliment is, though you are neither brave nor clever, you are one of the finest killers I have ever met.
Oh, nice. That's a good compliment, actually.
Well, you're
Except
neither brave nor
without the brave.
clever.
Okay, okay, that's fine. You can kill good. It's fine.
Yeah, you
That's
kill
all we
good.
want.
So I'm gonna play as a Githyanki after I bully Gale.
Excellent.
And that Githyanki is going to be a Saloonite cleric.
Ah,
So I can then bully / romance Shadowheart.
amazing.
Um,
Shart. Oh, Shart.
and then I think I'm gonna be a red dragon barbarian.
Nice.
And romance Lae'zel and be like, here's a red dragon you can ride.
Mm-hmm. Hey, baby.
I
really like Lae'zel's storyline. She had a very good storyline.
Yeah. Did you give her the egg?
No, we didn't steal the eggs.
So, I took the egg, but we didn't give it to the lady. I gave it to Lae'zel.
That's nice. See,
because if you talk to the guy who's taking care of the egg, he says the egg is a late hatcher, and that the head of the crush wants to crush it because it's weak for not hatching.
Yeah.
So you can be like, we'll take the egg, and then you give it to Lae'zel.
What did she say about that?
She's full of motherly feelings.
Have an egg.
You give her, yeah. So the egg is just in her inventory.
Oh.
And she is excited about raising it to know the truth of Prince Orpheus, or with Locket's knowledge or whatever, whichever you tell her to follow. She's excited to like pass on.
I'll raise this kid right.
Shit. Yeah, basically.
Nice.
No, I didn't
take the eggs. Because in my playthrough, Lae'zel was with me when we ran into that lady, and I was playing as a half-orc, and she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna see if the violence is inherent in the breed." And there's like an orc option where you're like, "Huh, yeah, like everyone says orcs are violent, huh?" So, yeah. I just pictured like Lae'zel and my character looking at each other and being like, we're putting the beat down on this racist, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, and we like,
yeah, no, we killed the racist.
Yeah.
It's just when we took the egg, it was like, when we talked to the guy about the egg, it was like, well, it's a shame that it wouldn't get a chance to hatch.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I had an egg now.
So we could take it. So we adopted the egg.
Nice.
It's like, we'll,
your adopted egg child.
And that's not a lie, because I had already killed the lady. Like, I think if you haven't killed the lady, it marks it as deception rather than persuasion. But because we had already killed that lady, it was just, well, we can take it and we'll raise it right. We'll raise it as our own, or the other option is we'll find another creche to watch over it.
For this kid.
So I did look up what happens if you give the racist lady and the egg. Because they're impatient and don't want to wait an entire lifespan to see if their experiment is correct or not.
Oh God.
They accelerate the egg Githyanki's growth. And it becomes really dogmatic about the principles of the group that she's a part of. And basically determines that they're all hypocrites, and slaughters them all.
Nice.
So that lady's dead anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like you have to talk him, like he's basically going to kill everyone that doesn't fit what that group says people should behave as.
Right.
and you have to talk him out of it.
Fascinating.
To be like, like flexibility is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't talk him out of it, he attacks you because you also don't live up to their standards.
That's true.
So the racists get what's coming to them.
Good.
Either way. And then if you're Dark Urge, you can kick the egg off a cliff.
Through this egg
Because
in
Dark
particular.
Urge, gonna Dark Urge.
Well,
you can you can steal the egg, bring it to the lady, and then instead of giving it to her, put it down on the ground and then kick it off the cliff. And be like, no one gets this egg.
because I'm full of ball.
I'm full of murder. Yeah.
I got so much murder in me.
Yep. All the murders. I ate Gail's hand.
Yes.
I've
I've seen clips of that. It's very. I'm like, holy crap. Woo, alright, the Dark Urge playthrough is going to be different.
Make sure you have talk to animals on at all time, because if you don't have talk to animals on when you're the Dark Urge, you just kill the animal if it can't talk to you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
That squirrel gets kicked real hard if you're Dark Urge and don't have talk to animals on.
I was gonna play a ranger, so I'm gonna have speak to animals
on at all times. Good.
Autocast it.
I think I'm gonna play as a ranger to romance Jess Hallison.
Nice.
Because I was thinking a druid, but then I was like, well, that makes him redundant, like having two druids on the team.
I love Jaheira, but I also loved Halsin, so I was like, which druid am I bringing on with me on this trip?
I did so I have like 2 games with my Dark Urge, and one is like fucking around to figure out how to do things, and one is the one I'm streaming. And I basically, when I got to Baldur's Gate, I like made note of all the little animal quests and then put both Jaheira and Hallison on my team and went around and helped all the animals to just boost their points.
Good. I love the cat in the brothel just outside of Baldur's Gate. It's a good cat.
I like the pigeon quest.
Oh yes. That was fun.
And it was like we found the perpetrator of the pigeon murder, and I was like, all right, popping Gail in our party.
Yep.
Gail, talk to your cat.
Deal with your cat, sir. This is your pet.
This is kill your cat to stop eating pigeons. If you play as Gail, his cat comes to hang out with you.
Oh.
Through the whole game.
Nice. There's also a mod, which I have, so that you can summon Tara.
So the reason why that mod was easy to do is because you can summon her if you play as him.
That makes sense.
Because she shows up and then you can just summon her through the whole game.
Nice.
Because since there isn't a player character to feed you magical artifacts, Tara is who's feeding Gail magic artifacts.
Gotcha. Keeping her boy alive.
Yeah. And I like that she has a grandma voice.
Me too. Gail really needs a kindly grandmother to look after him.
Well, it's also because don't the flying cats live the same length as regular cats?
I thought they lived longer. Like Tressims are like 30, 40 years.
I thought that they live the same length as regular cats. And since Gail summoned her at like 13, she's ancient.
That's true.
So her having a grandma voice is fitting.
How old Preston?
And even if they live 30 years instead of 20 years, she'd still be an old lady.
She would be. No, for sure. Oh, 20 years. So longer than normal
Yeah.
cat, but not by a lot. And normal cats
Yeah.
can live up to 20, so yeah, she
So it might
outdated.
just be like actual, like they age like cats, but since they're smarter than cats, they're not getting killed as quickly.
Yeah. And more magical.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, if you play as Gale, you get your cat. You can also get extra spell slots
Really?
by eating Nethery's magic that you come in contact with.
Okay. Fun.
So like all the guys in the shadow area,
Yeah.
when you defeat them, you can like suck out their magic and get an extra spell slot.
Fascinating.
I mean the main people, the people related to J.K. Simmons' character.
Yeah.
I love being a bard because I've talked my way out of most of the boss fights. You can talk your way out of the first two parts of J.K. Simmons' fight.
Oh, wow. See, I missed that because I went in as a fighter, so I'm like, well, I have a hammer. Everything looks like a nail. Let's just fight our way through this game. I did so much. I'm like, I'm not playing as a Dark Urge and I'm playing a good character, but I'm doing so much murder. It's just an awful lot of murdering everything I come across.
What's very fun but very hard to do, if you want to commit no murders in the game.
Yeah.
There's the bit where the steel watch scans you to see how much crime you've done.
Yeah.
If you successfully get to that part without committing any murder, it says, "You're a model citizen. Go on through."
Good. Nothing wrong here. Everything's great. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you have killed 0 people.
Yep, perfect.
You are not a threat.
No murder hobos here.
Then someone did a Can You Beat Baldur's Gate as cats?
I saw the video for that. I haven't watched it, but it keeps coming up in my recommended, and I'm like, that's a great idea. I love this.
The answer is you can't, because there is one locked door at the very end of the game. And because you're a cat, you cannot talk to the man who gives you the key,
right?
And you cannot lockpick the door. Every single other, like, you can get all the way almost to the very end.
Wow. And finally defeated by a door.
Yes, you're defeated by a door.
So I've been asked by friends before to play test their games. And one of the things I like to do is, can I play your game as a cat? So if they're like, yeah, test my rules for making making characters, I will be like, can I make a cat? Because, there's certain things that cats do that a regular character wouldn't do. So if the system's robust enough that you could just make a cat and it makes sense in game, I'm like, yeah, your character creation system is working good. But Baldur's Gate, you can just straight up be a cat.
Yeah, like the way he was saying is like, so I'm playing as a druid and I'm going to be in cat form the entire time.
Yeah.
And the only time I will be out of cat form is when someone hits me hard enough to make me not a cat.
And then I'll turn into a cat again.
And then I will immediately become a cat again. Or if it's a cutscene that forces me into being not a cat.
Yeah. Oh man, the cutscenes where you forget to unturn your druid into whatever they are first, and then there's just like a dinosaur standing there. You're like, this got weird.
Yeah, the beautiful touching scene of the kid in the shadow curse lands.
Yes.
and Hallison's a motherfucking bear the whole time, blocking
Yes.
the view.
Like, I can't see
Uh,
anything. What the fuck's going on? Allison, move.
um, but
Move your giant bear ass. I don't mean that you're naked. I do mean that you are a bear, and your ass is blocking the entire screen.
did you bring Hallison into the city like in that first area?
The Worm's Gate?
The first Baldur's Gate area, yeah, the Riven, whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to hear his capitalism bad speech.
Yes. It was good. I agreed with it.
Good.
Like, you're
Yeah.
correct, Allison. You're not wrong.
Both Hallison and Minthara disapprove of the way the refugees are being treated, but for very different reasons.
Yes.
Minthara is like, this is so wasteful to have these refugees out here. Like, it's like they should let them in the city. And you can be like, I'm surprised that you care about people. And she's like, this isn't about caring about people. This is about the fact that this is wasting resources and time. I'm sure there is work to be done in the city. You just like let them in, give them a place to live, and put them to work.
Yeah, someone enslaved these people. They're not
Yeah,
producing.
she doesn't say slaves until the very end, so someone who doesn't know about drow could
Yes.
get to like go through the whole conversation with agreeing with her, like, well, yeah, I'm sure that they could like do some work, and then
Yeah.
finally at the end she goes, yes, and then in time they'll earn their freedom, and it's like,
Oh,
uh
right.
that's what you were talking about.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. The drow.
Yep.
The drow, everybody.
What's very funny is if you if you are a drow, the goblins just let you in. You never have to like talk your way past them.
Amazing.
They're just like, "Oh, okay." They bow to you. And
They're like, hey, another
are
drow's
very
here.
helpful.
There's another drow here,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Like the guy who wants you to kiss his feet, he won't
Yeah.
even do that option. He's just like, oh, no, the nothing, your worshipfulness, or
Nice. Now we're all good here.
uh
Everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
yeah. So and I learned that because my tiefling guy has disguise self.
Nice.
So like I was like, let's disguise ourselves as a drow to sneak into camp. And yeah,
Nice.
they rolled out the red carpet. They were just like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's where everything is.
Cool. You got the run of the place. Have fun.
Yep. Yep.
Have fun. Don't
Um,
hurt me.
eh,
I don't want to be murdered by a drow.
and if you're a drow, when you save what's his name tied to the windmill,
Oh yeah.
instead of going, ugh, you probably want a reward. He goes, ugh, you're probably here to enslave me.
Good. This guy's just had a really hard time. He's just like, oh, whatever. Sure, I guess.
I love that guy. That guy's great. That poor guy. He just wanted to help his friend, and his friend is all like, I want to do terrorism instead.
And he's like, but I just. And also, his friend sucks. His friend is the worst.
Yeah.
Dude is awful.
His friend is like, I want to do a terrorism, and you're not cool enough to do a terrorism, so
Yeah.
go away. Also playing as a tiefling makes the Grove great.
Mm.
Because you can just run around and call the druids racist.
Amazing. Like, you just hate tieflings. That's just your problem. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Some kind of tiefling racist?
Yeah. You gotta make sure to talk to all the dead.
Oh, yeah. I kept forgetting to do that. I gave Will the spell at one point, and then every time I'd be like, God damn it, I forgot to make him talk to dead again.
So like I said, I want to play as Will to romance Karlach.
Mm-hmm.
And I still haven't thought of who would be good to romance Will as.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like,
Tumblr has quite a lot of Will Asterion slash.
yes, I know that. So maybe I will do that, but if I can't think of anything else. But then I won't get to hear Asterian's cheeky laugh.
Yeah. Just so good.
Tumblr wants Astarion to fuck everybody, which is ironic because Astarion does not want to fuck anybody.
It's true. I mean, Tumblr does love an ace sexy boy. You're like, you do another ace, right? And they're like,
this
nah,
this
nah,
is
let's
the
slash him
thing
with
is
everybody.
this is the thing is I don't know if I would say he's ace because it's trauma. And I know
Yeah,
that that's
exactly.
like a bad trope
He's
of
clearly
like
not
someone
ace.
being ace because of trauma.
Yeah.
And if you are romancing Astarion and you do his quests,
Mm-hmm.
no, if you're romancing Astarion and you haven't killed Cazador and you go to the brothel and are hit on by the Drow twins,
Right.
you can ask Astarion to come, and Astarion says he's not comfortable with that, but go ahead.
Right.
But if you do kill Cazador, Astarion is like, I'll give it a shot because I would like to make sex fun again.
Aw.
And he was like, so he wants to do it because he knows 100% that that would be on his own terms.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And Cazador's not there to enforce anything
and
anymore.
the narrator does tell you that Astarion did not have a good time, but he volunteered to partake, and I feel like if he was
That's a
just
big deal.
ace,
Yeah. He would not
like
have
if
done
he was
so.
just ace, he would just like decline
Yeah.
and wouldn't be as invested as making sex fun for him again.
Exactly.
Uh then there's also very funny responses to the Drow twins for every single character.
Oh, good.
Because they ask you what's off limits,
Mm-hmm.
and someone went through the code and found every unique response to
What's off
not
limits?
just the characters what's off limits, but also like what each species says it's off limits.
Oh, interesting.
So if you play as Dark Urge,
Yeah.
what he says, what they say before sex is, if you ask me to choke you, I might not stop. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
And then Gale says he's out of practice, so don't ask him to do any magic tricks during sex. I forget what Will says, but what is also, but so you get like the species stuff is the halfling says, I don't like it when people that much bigger than me are on top.
I mean, fair.
The half orc says, don't suck on my tusks. You would be surprised how often people try that.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Just sucking on your teeth.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's
no,
like, just
don't,
just don't do it. It's
don't do that.
not an erogenous zone. It doesn't do anything for
It's
me.
just weird. It just feels weird.
Um, and then, okay, I found the post so I can read you all of them. So yeah, if you ask me to choke you, I might not stop. That's Dirge's response.
Yeah.
If you play as Shadowheart, there is nothing alluring about pain. I've had my fill of that already, and then some.
Fair.
Will says, I've only known courtly love. Please be gentle.
Oh my.
Karlak,
Oh, really?
it's been a long time since I've been touched by anyone, so don't do anything too unexpected.
Mm.
Uh, Lae'zel, follow my lead. Do it with enthusiasm.
Amazing.
Astarion, don't tell me what to do. It brings back bad memories.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, he's
okay,
trying. He's
so,
really trying.
all right, so Druid response. Just don't ask me to transform. Wizard, I'm quite fragile, but a wizard after all.
Okay.
I am but a wizard after all.
Right, right.
Monk, I stop breathing sometimes when I focus. Don't disrupt me. I'm in control.
Okay.
Bard, don't tell anyone I was here. I have a reputation to preserve.
Amazing.
Rogue, I don't actually really like leather. Don't bring it out. Let's see. And then the race specific ones are only if you're a male drow. I don't want to feel powerless. It can be fraught with women of our kind. Halfling, keep me on top. I get a bit anxious with larger people above me. A Lightfoot halfling specifically, my feet are very ticklish. I'd prefer them be left alone. Dragonborn, the area underneath my crest is sensitive. Don't touch it too fiercely. Tiefling, please don't touch my horns. I think they're ugly and you won't convince me otherwise. That's a goddamn lie. My
That is a
tiefling's
goddamn
horns are
lie.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Half orc, don't suck on my tusks. It happens more often than you'd think.
Weird.
And deep gnome, I just like to spend an hour without experiencing a height joke.
Amazing.
But yeah. Also, Astarion, can if you play as Astarion, you can ask the sex workers if they're treated well. Are they voluntarily doing
Aw.
sex work? Is no one forcing them into it?
That's nice. It's like, y'all
So,
good
you
here?
know,
Everybody all right? Okay, good. Otherwise, I will
he
have to get
wants.
murdery.
He likes to
Not on
pretend
you.
he doesn't care, but he
Exactly.
does.
Exactly. I'll have to do a murder to the proprietor of this establishment.
Um, did you tell Astarion to be an adventurer or to go take care of the spawn or what?
I forget. What point in the game is that?
This is like his ending, like, and you go talk to him during the epilogue, and he has different dialogue based on what you told him to do after the game.
He, in my game, was ascended. And we did
Oh,
not save
so
the
he's not
spawn.
doing anything nice. All
No,
right,
he's really
so
not doing anything nice. He was like, I don't even know why I'm here. I guess it's okay to see you again. But anyway, I'm gonna go back and do vampire things now. Goodbye. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, see you later, bud.
Um, well, if he doesn't ascend, you have the choice to tell him to go be an adventurer
Aw. Yeah,
or to go take care of all the other vampire spawn that survived the ritual.
right.
If you tell him to go be an adventurer, he figured out an important fact about D&D,
Okay.
which is when he tells you when you ask him how adventuring going, he's like, "It's going great." Turns out, people don't care if you're a murderer as long as you murder the right people.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. That is what D&D is all about.
Yes, so he has realized he's in D&D.
Yes, he's like, I can murder people as long as they are the correct ones.
Uh,
I mean, that was the whole thing about the Emperor, who was like, yeah, I just fed on like criminals. And I'm like,
mhm.
listen, you were in charge of the city. You were the person making everyone else poor there, Batman.
He
It's
needed
your
brains to
fault.
eat.
They were criminals. That was why my character went off to Avernus, because she was like, listen, devils have brains. I don't feel bad about killing them. That's my meal ticket, baby. Eat me some infernal.
But yeah, Astarion is running around being a hero, a D&D hero,
Good.
in true fashion.
Good.
It's it's great. Um,
I can do all the murders I want if I'm an adventurer.
yes, exactly.
Sure murdered a lot of people in that game. Like, well, I don't have any other solutions, so
Oh,
I guess fighting it is. Oh, they're dead again. All right, on to the next one.
that's why being a bard is great.
Yeah,
I
I
get
had
solutions
no
that aren't
intelligence.
murder.
I got zero intelligence and a big sword.
My guy doesn't have good intelligence either. He's just got charisma, all of
Nice.
it.
That's all you need.
His charisma never lets him down.
Nice.
I've also been watching videos talking about good builds for
Mm,
all the different characters.
yeah, yeah.
So my bard is a machine gun bard.
Amazing.
Um, because what it is you give him 3 levels of thief
Mm-hmm.
or 4, so you get the feat. Um, and so the thief get an extra bonus action. And then you give them the feat dual wielder,
Yeah.
so they can have 2 crossbows. Um, and then you pick sword bard, and
Yeah.
your bonus action is a flourish, and then you get an extra attack.
Nice.
So you have 2 regular attacks, and then 2 bonus action attacks.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you can just fire at everybody.
Excellent. Fire at will.
Yep. And I made Astarion an assassin rogue.
Mm-hmm.
And then gave him ranger levels so he could be a Gloomstalker ranger.
Oh, nice.
Um,
That's very
so he's
deadly.
just, yep, yep.
He's like, let me
So
kill
we're
all
just
of the
shooting
things.
everybody.
Yeah.
We're just shooting everybody.
I'm looking forward to that with my next playthrough because, like I said, I was just a fighter with a big sword, and I'm like, I'm not taking advantage of a lot of the strategy I could be because, like, I just run Lizelle and Karlak and my character up there, and we murder the hell out of everything, and then one of our casters stands behind for support. I don't need anybody else, but I'm like, there's more efficient ways to do this than just murdering everything in the game. I'm gonna try that next
Mm-hmm.
playthrough.
What else is fun is there's so if you play as a barbarian, so were you a barbarian or a fighter?
Just a straight up fighter, battle master, because that's what
Okay.
she is in my D&D game. Which is
Okay.
like just
Because
superiority points. That's all you get. You go boom, smash all the things, have an action surge.
what else what else is fun is if you're a barbarian, um you don't need to use the illithid powers to
Mm,
open the machine that Shadowheart's in.
no, yeah.
You can just open it with a strength check.
Ah,
And apparently when you get that first vision of the three main bad guys,
yeah.
you get different dialogue based on how much you've used the illithid powers.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's like, oh, you've used it on the thing that you've used on other people multiple times is now getting used against you.
Right.
Like, is the dialogue most people get. If you only used it once, it says like a familiar feeling
Right.
that brings you back to your kidnapping. Um, but if you haven't done it once, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
What is this weird
And I,
feeling? I hate it.
yeah, I love that there's just so many different things,
Oh yeah.
like, and options, like all that extra dialogue for just the brothel, which
Yeah.
someone might not even go to.
Also, the narrator is so good. Like her voice is just
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah. You can bring Hallison and Astarion to the Drow twins at the same time and
Good.
have a fivesome.
Woo, spicy.
It implies that Hallison turned into a bear during the group
I
sex.
didn't get the Halsin. I was romancing Halsin along with Karlak, but I must have not rested at the right time, and I went back and saved Scummed a bunch, and I couldn't find where the point was where he comes over and tries to romance you. But there's apparently an option there to also have him turn into a bear.
Yes. Well, so he turns into a bear by accident.
Oh.
And then he apologizes, and
And
you
then you
can
can be
tell him,
like,
I liked it.
it's good though.
And then he turns back into a bear.
Oof.
Um, so you can fuck him as a bear, but I actually think um, fucking him when he's a person is a better scene because he is just eating you out.
Woo. All right.
um, Hallison is also so you can fuck Minthara, not Minthara, Mizora.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
She offered, and I was like,
and
hell no.
that's a great way to get broken up with.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are dating Hallison, Astarion, or Shadowheart.
Really.
Yes. Shadowheart is still mad at you
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't, like, if this relationship is open, we gotta talk about that first before you go around fucking devils.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, uh, Astarion is like, why didn't you invite me? Which honestly, that's posturing. He's a liar.
Yes, no, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd be up for that. But also, that's fine.
But also, maybe he is sincere because he does talk about like so few people get to fuck devils and live.
That's true. And he's like, this could have been my one
Uh,
time. This could have been my one.
yeah. Uh, and then Hallison, um, since he's all about polyamory,
Yeah.
he's like, I guess I gotta up my kink game because I am
Seems like you're into
competing with a
that.
devil.
Seems like you're into that.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta up our. He's like, I'll make sure to up my kink game so you don't get bored of me.
Yeah. Nice.
Which
He's very
I
accommodating.
don't know. I think that's sad. That
Very.
he thinks you'll get bored of him if he doesn't up his kink game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also, dude, you can turn into a bear. It's gotta be on somebody's
Yeah.
list.
He can turn into all the animals. He can
That
turn
is
into
true.
a velociraptor.
Would you like to fuck a velociraptor? Try a
Um,
druid.
when that whole bear or man thing was going around, I did post a picture of Hallison and be like, why not both?
Mm-hmm. Did you oh god. When you're in the House of Hope, did you talk to the not Raphael about how he is in bed?
um, so I haven't got there, but I do know that he says that Raphael is bad at in bed.
Absolutely.
Um, and then if you talk to the dead after killing that guy, one of the questions you can ask him uh, is Raphael a top or a bottom?
Good.
Do you know? If you wanted to guess the answer?
The obvious one is that he's a top, so he's clearly a bottom.
Yes, he's always on the bottom,
Of
never
course.
on top.
No, of course. All right,
Someone
back.
had a really good explanation as to why Raphael would be a bottom.
Hmm.
And the incubus, he has the incubus get called the Archduke, and Raphael is just a duke. So he wants the incubus to pretend to be what Raphael wants to be, and
Right.
Raphael aspires to be someone who would not submit to anyone, which is why he has to be a bottom for his ideal self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's also very funny that he only fucks himself.
Yes. Man, I was not prepared for
Um,
the music in that fight scene, though. That was great.
um, so I learned that Karlach had a happier ending,
Oh,
and that got cut from the game
right.
because most of what they cut was the richer part of society in Baldur's Gate,
Hmm.
which was mostly going to deal with Gortash,
Yeah.
because he kind of has the least amount of plot stuff out of the big
Yeah, he
three.
really does. His was very thin.
Um,
Although his face was so
because like
punchable, I was glad I didn't have to see him more.
someone described the way he looks as like someone who is picking up 14-year-olds at Warp Tour.
Oof. They are not wrong.
Um,
I saw him and I
uh,
was like, oh, this fucking guy. Yikes. Do not like him. I do not like him, Sam. I am.
oh, he maybe fucked Dark Urge.
Hmm.
There, you find letters between the two of them, and
Oh
it's
my.
real like they fucking.
Woof.
That's one of the big ships is Dark Urge and Gortash.
I have not run across that one. That's fun.
Because I was looking up Dark Urge stuff, and that's how I found it.
Mm,
He greets you differently if you play as Dark Urge. There
really?
are apparently 3 different Gortash meets the player things.
Ooh.
One is the regular player.
Yeah.
One is Dark Urge with companions,
Mm-hmm.
and one is Dark Urge solo.
Woo.
And he is super duper friendly if you meet him as Dark Urge alone. He's just like, oh, you lost your memory? Well, here's what we're doing. Let me catch you up.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you doing?
Hey, baby. It's been a while.
Yeah. And then and he flat out tells you that he hates Orin.
Yeah.
His exact wording is, I tolerate Orin, but I liked you.
Aw.
So he is, and people digging through code were like found some of the like direction given to the voice actors.
Oh yeah.
And it says in Gortash greeting Dark Urge, it's like he needs, this is not an act, he is genuinely happy to see Dark Urge. So his whole let's form an alliance is completely sincere because he loves Dirge.
It's like, good, you're back. Great. I missed you. I had to put up with Orin, and she's awful.
Yeah.
Not awful because she kills people. Awful because she won't listen to me.
It's more she's unpredictable.
Yeah. That's what I meant by not listen to me. Like,
Yeah.
he can't make her do things, and he hates that.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't make Dark Urge do things either. It was just Dark Urge is at least like saw sense and knew restraint.
Yeah.
Someone made a comic that is we're gonna fuck you up, Gortash, and then him going, oh, my love, where have you been? And then the rest of the companions all look at Dirge, and it's like, well, this is unexpected.
Well, yeah, we're here to fuck you up, Enver. Darling.
There's a lot of bits like this. I'm sending you a picture.
I loved after the first time you let Astarion feed on you, and he's like, darling, I feel amazing. He's very sassy and happy the whole day. Yeah,
So yeah, someone did a comparison on meeting Gortash. If you go as Tav.
Oh yeah.
I'm sending you pictures. And then if you go as Dirge.
Amazing.
Hey, bestie. How's it going?
Hi. His big baby girl eyes are very cute. He's like, oh, hi, I missed you.
And then,
My chat hasn't been updating, and I realize there's been a bunch of people talking. Hey, everybody.
yeah.
I don't know why my chat wasn't updating. It just said there was no one here.
Here's a good comic that is the Dead Three before they got Orin.
Wow. George Ash's smile. Yikes.
Yeah. And then someone is making a fun comic that is what if Dark Urge was a recruitable companion? So it's Tav and Dark Urge in the same party
Oh, that's fun.
with everyone. Oh, so in Dark Urge, when you're Dark Urge, you kill a bard.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Usually, it's the Tiefling bard. But if the Tiefling bard is dead or knocked out,
Yep.
and can't come to your cutscene to get disemboweled, you get a replacement bard who has the funniest dialogue. Because basically all of her dialogue is, I love what living. The future is so bright.
Amazing.
Nothing bad could ever happen to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like you ask her what's she doing. She's like, I was on my way to Baldur's Gate because I heard because someone wants to publish all my songs. I'm gonna be famous.
Oh
Just
my
you wait.
goodness.
Soon everyone will hear and remember my name. And then you can ask, she's a dragonborn, and so you ask her about like what made her start adventuring, and she was like, oh, the dragonborn believe in like arranged marriages because they think that parent compatibility has nothing to do with egg raising. But so I ran away because I want to fall in love. I
Oh
can't wait to get
no.
to Baldur's Gate and have my first kiss. And like,
You're like, oh boy, honey, this is real. I've been on the force for
yeah,
50 years, and I'm
it's
retiring
basically
tomorrow
I
energy.
love being alive.
Yeah. I mean, this was me playing Cyberpunk for the first time, where you first meet your starting companion, and he's like, "Here's my mom, and here's my girlfriend. Oh boy, I sure got a big heart, and I'm a nice guy." And I'm like, "You are not surviving very long, my friend. Oh boy, do not get attached."
Oh, also someone digging through the code looked up the angriest you can make each companion. Like with one action, what will give you the most negative points? A lot of them are obvious, like
Yeah.
if you break up with Karlach right after you sleep with her, that like it's instant her
If you force
you've betrayed her
Asterion,
trust and yeah.
yeah. If you force Asterion
Um
to hang out with that weird potion maker chick.
That's actually not the thing that he hates the most.
Really? Wow.
There was a different thing that he hates more than that.
Wow.
But it's like on a similar vein.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of the characters will leave the party like after you do the thing that they absolutely hate.
Right.
Um, the funniest is Gale's. If you play as Astarion, one of the unique parts of the game is how long can you hide that you're a vampire?
Amazing.
If Gale confronts you about being a vampire,
Yep.
you can say, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not a vampire. And that gives Gale -30 opinion of you.
He's like, no, I'm
If
so smart. I figured out you're a vampire. You're like, no, no, I'm not.
you're like, no, that's a ridiculous thing to
What are you
say. I'm
talking about?
definitely not a vampire. Um, and for context, when you do the weave lesson with him and you have to imagine something,
Yeah.
if you imagine his head on a spike or gutting him,
Mm-hmm.
that's -10.
But telling him that he's wrong.
Yes, telling him that he's wrong and doesn't know what he's talking about,
It's like, God damn it, I
is
do.
when it's very clear that he's right, is the thing that gets you the most negative points from him.
Amazing.
Don't tell Gale that sharks are smooth. For Lizelle, it's kicking the egg off the cliff as
Oh
dirge.
yeah. She's like, God damn it, that was my baby.
You just killed a baby, yeah.
Why did you do that?
That's where Lizelle draws her murder line. Don't murder babies.
I mean, fair, yeah. That's a good spot to draw that line. Yeah, but like kids who are in training and suck, that's fine to murder. She's very
Yeah.
okay with that. She's like, whatever, this kid isn't gonna be a warrior anyway. This
No,
egg could have been a
there's a
good warrior.
specific age. Like, actually, if you have both her and Minthara in her party, your party,
Yeah,
um, you get where Lizelle's murder is okay line.
amazing.
Because um, Minthara is like, give kids weapons as soon as they're old enough to hold them. And Lizelle is like, that's asking to get kids murdered. Like, of course, a kid is not going to be strong enough to beat a warrior. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta wait till they're at least 13.
Then death is fine. That's fine. If they're not good,
Yeah,
if they're not good at what you want them to be good at, no, they're done. They're over.
yeah. If they're not on top of things by they don't got their shit together by 13, they're useless.
Yeah. That's when we separate the warriors from the non-warriors.
Yes. Um. So, anyone younger than 13, no murders.
If you ask her about it too, and she's being like, maybe we should she's like, no, don't intervene. This kid's not gonna make it. This is doing them a favor. Take him out.
Yeah, like,
You're like,
and
are
that
you
kid,
kidding me?
and it checks out with her saying that line because she said, because that kid's like 16,
Oh yeah.
15, and she said 13 is when it's okay to
She's
murder
like, yeah,
them.
he's had his chance. He didn't make it.
Yeah, he's had 3 years to get his shit together, and it's still not together.
He's done. That's it. Washing out. Washing out of warrior camp, kid. I think I'm almost done this one.
um, what's also very funny is all the characters' reactions to finding out that you're ball spawn.
I wanna get there myself. It's gonna be
Yeah.
very fun.
If you do, um, embracing being balls chosen and all the murder,
So much murder.
um, several of your companions will leave your team
Yeah.
because you're a dark evil god.
Yep.
Can you guess which companions stay?
Asterion, I think, would be pretty okay with that.
Starion is ride or die for you.
Of
If
course.
you're his
Of course.
bestie, he's ride or die. Like his exact
He's like,
dialogue is,
listen, if some murders were
I
gonna get
didn't
between
expect to
us,
be in service to a dark god, but here
yeah.
we are.
Also, like, if a few murders were gonna get hit between him and his friends, he would be the problem first.
When you kill the bard, you can blame Asterion for the bard's death.
It wasn't me.
You can be like, it was definitely the vampire in our party and not
And
me at all. I definitely
no,
did not foul this bard.
no, why would I do that? That's not a thing I would do. That doesn't sound like me at all.
Did you save Roland?
Yes.
So he got to his shitty teacher.
Yo. Shitty, shitty teacher. God, I hate that guy.
Yep.
We
Poor
murdered.
Roland.
We murdered the hell out. I brought Isabel, or not Isabel, Dame Aelin in, and we were like, "All right, Aelin, here you go. This guy wanted to kill you. Have at." She was like, "I will, verily. This dude sucks." We're like, "Yeah, he sure does." Oh, Aelin and Isabel, I love them.
They're great.
Would and did kill for them.
Um, do you think there's the mind flayer and the hobgoblin in the Underdark where the mushrooms are living.
Yes.
They're fucking.
Oh yeah, no, I very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Got
As long as
that
we're on the same
impression.
page.
Yeah.
They're definitely fucking.
No, absolutely.
um so you can put people's corpses in your camp chest. In case you're playing as a necromancer and need dead bodies.
Oh, good. Stacking them up
So
like hardwood.
someone made a comic about their Tav or Dark Urge hanging out with Astarion after they kill Cazador.
Yep. It's like, hey, we got him in the cooler.
I have to remind. It's Astarion wakes up in the middle of the night and it's like, it's nothing. It's just sometimes I get nightmares that are really bad and I forget, that he's really dead and I have to remind myself. And they go, do you want to see the body? Huh? I have Cazador's body in my corpse chest. No, that's very sweet, but I'm all, wait, what? Did you
You're
say?
what now?
And then the character goes, is it not normal to have a corpse chest?
Good.
It's just where I put all my corpses.
Yeah, that's where they go. You don't want them just falling around everywhere. That's unsanitary.
Also, if you play as Astarion, you get to see the bite scene from his point of view.
Amazing.
You have to do a stealth check to not wake people up.
Yep.
So that means that Astarion in game failed his stealth check.
Boy, did he ever. I love how at the beginning of the game I was like, oh shit, I've already been spoiled that I know Astarion's a vampire, but I guess I'll just kind of like play through and whatever. And then I was like, oh, this spoiler didn't last very long because like it's very obvious very quickly that this man is a vampire.
Yeah.
They do not try to hide that for long, so this isn't much of a spoiler.
In the game I'm streaming, it took forever for him to try and bite me.
Really?
Because
You're like,
so he has to do it on
do
a
your
night
selfie.
where there isn't. So he has to do it on a night when there isn't like another plot important thing.
Right.
So
It just took a while.
so the
To get
first
there.
night, there's the special dirge one.
Yeah.
And then the second night, you have Gale makes a mirror of himself to like
Do weird made
and
shit
he
with.
tells you
Yeah.
he's checking for signs that you're turning.
Right.
But then by my third night, I had gotten to the Grove and heard about a cure and recruited Will. So you get
Right.
and so there's an important cutscene there, where Astarion is looking at the stars or the ceiling, depending on if you're inside or outside when you do the long rest.
Yeah.
And you have to talk to everyone about if the cure is real or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, I had recruited Karlach, so we had to do Will and Karlach's
Yeah.
thing.
He's like, God damn it, I'm really hungry. Somebody stop doing things. I want to eat someone.
Yeah, so we had to do Will and Karlach's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next night Will had to get turned into demony horns.
Of course, yeah.
And then the trigger for killing a bard is crossing the bridge to the but right before you get Karlach. So
right. And so you had to stop and do a murder.
So we had to do a murder. And
then it's like, I'm passing out from hunger at this point. Please, somebody let me eat this person.
No, we found a dead boar that he ate.
Oh, that's right.
Did you find that?
I did, yeah. That was fun.
Did you get the if you don't know he's a vampire when you find it, Astarion is like, it's
Couldn't
dead. Stop poking it. And then you can do like a wisdom saving throw to be like it's exsanguinated, and you can be, hey Astarion, you're acting all nervous.
Why?
Do you know why this boar died? And Astarion goes, a vampire killed it. They're very dangerous. Don't worry, I'll keep watch. But that only happens if you don't know he's a vampire.
That's amazing. I found the boar like literally the morning after he tried to eat me, and I was like, I'm okay with you being a vampire. Just like consent, dude. And he's like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know anything about that. I'm like, really? And he's like, no, yeah, that was me. I'm like, of course it was. Come on, bud. Be honest with me.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. I just want you to be honest with me. That's fine. It's fine if you're a vampire. But don't sneak around.
So yeah, if you're playing from his POV, he has a dream about Cazador, and that's what makes him decide to try and bite you.
Oh.
Um, and um, Cazador has like a bunch of laws um, that he had forbidden all of his spawn to do, and one was eating from thinking creatures, is how it was phrased.
Right.
Um,
And he's like,
so he
listen,
was.
here's what I'm gonna do.
So what prompts him to try and bite you is him being like, "Oh, I don't have to follow any of Cazador's rules. I could break this one too."
Yeah.
Um,
Why don't I give that a shot?
yeah. And then you get different reactions from different characters.
Nice.
Um,
Gail was all
you
like, "Oh no, a vampire! Oh god, you shouldn't trust this
uh
man." And I was like, "It's fine."
Gail tastes bad.
Yeah.
Gail will wake up regardless of if you pass the stealth check
Oh really?
because
He's all full of Leatherese
um
magic.
because he's poison.
Yeah.
He tastes bad. So you basically, if you're playing as Astarion and bite Gale, you end up basically spitting out his blood and and it talks about how it tastes like bile and rot.
Gross.
Um,
They're like, "You nasty!
and
What the hell are you full of, dude?"
and
Not
if
food.
you are playing as Gale and Astarion bites you, Astarion spits out your blood and goes, "God, what is wrong with you? You
Good.
are not well."
This is not a normal taste.
And then Astarion can't bite Karlak because she's made of
Yeah,
lava.
she's on fire.
Yeah.
If you're on fire, vampires can't eat you.
Yes. If you're playing as Karlak and Astarion, you get the Astarion bite scene. Rather than letting him bite you, you remind him that you're made of lava, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I guess I'll go eat something else."
I'm gonna come over here now.
Um,
I love that Karlak has zero chill when you confess your love to her. She's like, "Oh my god, I've been waiting for a long time to say I love you too. Oh my god, what are we gonna do now?" She's so cute.
it's very cute.
Love her.
If you play as Karlak, you get a custom sex scene with Astarion
Amazing.
because you can't actually fuck. So,
Ah.
the scene where he tries to get you alone, he like starts his big it starts the same, and
Yeah.
then like 2 lines in, he's like, "I actually don't know what to do." Um,
I didn't think this through.
because you can't. Yeah, it's like, "I didn't think this through."
Well, this is awkward now.
And yeah.
Okay, I think
Um,
I'm done. I think
yeah,
that's all she wrote. Should sign
there are
this.
some people that are a little frustrated with if you play as Karlak.
Mm,
Because people don't react enough to other characters don't react enough to her being able to hug people.
right.
Um,
Yeah, that's a big deal for her.
yeah, and while there is the custom first sex scene with Astarion, um, there Astarion wants to stop having sex around the same time Karlak can finally touch people.
Ah,
Um,
boo.
so they never actually have sex.
Right.
Which people found frustrating. Um, um,
There. Signed.
maybe
And
I would play as a monk when I romance Will.
hmm, that makes sense.
Mostly because playing as a monk seems interesting. I just
Yeah.
haven't. My other idea is he talked about how um he sold his soul to Minthara. I mean Mizora.
Yeah.
Too many M names in this game.
Yep.
He made his deal with Mizora to stop some Timet cultists.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, what if I was a paladin or cleric for Timet? Um,
Forbidden love. We fell in love anyway.
well, because I also had an idea for a playthrough where, okay, so Dark Urge being evil, fine, but Dark Urge is sort of, if you fully succumb to the urges, you're basically being like Orin, and you're kind of so evil it's inefficient and dumb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, well, what if I did a run that's like evil but a sneakier evil? So like on the surface, you're doing good things. But that's just all to acquire more power. Um And one of Will's endings is you can talk him into being a duke,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
They're like,
taking
hey, you
over
should
for
take
his
over for
dad.
your dad.
So I was like, if I did someone that evil run and like romanced Will and convinced him to be duke, like I was thinking like what would this secretly evil character do?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they would probably get Will to kill Karlak.
Mm.
Because Karlak doesn't have any gain more power endings.
Yeah.
Like because Astarion you can talk into ascending.
Yeah. Gale
Um
can be a god.
Gale can be a god. Lizelle, you can have her like ascend to be Vlacus whatever.
Yeah.
Um then you can have Shadowheart become a Dark Justiciar.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really just Karlak that doesn't have like a power grabby evil ending.
No, she can either just live or not.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So and it makes sense for her character because like she's been screwed over by those types of people.
Oh yeah.
So if I was playing as one of those characters, they would probably continue to screw her over.
Yeah.
Uh Oh, what's very funny is people were talking about how much extra dialogue each species gets.
Mm.
Um, and humans have the least.
Interesting.
They only have two special dialogues. But one is maybe the funniest in the game. After you meet Raphael
Yeah.
and you talk to Gale, and Gale is all like, "Oh, a devil wants to talk to us. I'm flattered," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He says a line about ambition being a thing that humans and devils have in common,
Yeah.
and your human uh only response is speak for yourself, Gale.
Good. Very good.
I think elves have the second least, or half elves.
Mm.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I gotta get back into Phantom Liberty. Because I'm obsessive about Cyberpunk 2077. I like did my playthrough as male V for the first time, and then was in the middle of that as like male Corpo V when Phantom Liberty came out. So I went, screw it, I'm starting a new playthrough as because my first playthrough was Street Kid, and then I went through and did the Corpo playthrough. Didn't quite finish it before Phantom Liberty hit, and so I was like, well, screw it, going for Nomad. I'm gonna do a Nomad playthrough. We're gonna do the Phantom Liberty from start. So I'm like, not even in the point yet where I've done much in the actual Phantom Liberty part of the game. And I was like, I need a break from Cyberpunk for just a little bit to play some Baldur's Gate. Now I'm like, okay, I could play another playthrough, or I could go back and play more Cyberpunk. And in my heart, I know which my choice will be. I gotta go play some more Cyberpunk.
What is Phantom Liberty?
It is the DLC for Cyberpunk, but it's like a whole extension to the story. They got Idris Elba to come in and do like a whole voiced character. There's a whole section of the city that wasn't open before that you can now go into, and like 2 new endings. So it's almost like another chapter of the game. I got just far enough into it to where the hacker turns off the Silverhand turns off your in-head Keanu Reeves for a while, and you're like, where's my pet Keanu? He's not here. Oh God, what have you done? And when he finally comes back, he's pissed because of course he is. He got turned off like he was just a computer program. And also they're like, hey, so we want you to work for the government now. And especially as a street kid, you're like, yeah, screw the government though. They've never done anything for me. And apparently if you sign on with them right away, he's like, I'm disappointed in you, B. I taught you better than that. But if you tell them to go screw themselves, he's like, fuck yes. Yeah, we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
Fight the system, screw the man. I was like, yeah, dude, I can't believe they would even offer. That was so, like, come on. So I've just met Idris Elba in that playthrough, and I don't know what role he's really playing. I'm excited to find out.
Do you watch Folding Ideas' YouTube videos often?
No.
He's the one that did that big long one about NFTs.
Oh, right.
The line goes up. But so he recently did one about he was discussing bad documentaries.
Nice.
Like documentaries that are propaganda.
Oh, like Super Size Me.
But what he uses as the example is a recent documentary that is narrated by Idris Elba.
Really?
About gold. And like he's using it as an example to talk about like different documentaries manipulating you.
Yeah.
To show their bias. Even in like ones that you wouldn't think would be like, here's how they're manipulating you, here's what they're doing, sort of deal. But it's now, because of the way he spliced together all the times that Idris Elba says gold, so it turns into a bit where it's just Idris Elba going gold, 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 over and over again.
Amazing.
And that's now what I think of when I think of Idris Elba.
Have you seen so is it David Tennant? It's it's Benedict Cumberbatch fucking up the word penguin in a penguin documentary.
No.
Oh, you gotta Google it. It's so funny. He starts off with penguin, and then it gets worse from there, and like you're like, there's a whole room full of people listening to him say penguin wrong, and no one edited that out or corrected him. And it just gets increasingly ludicrous. He didn't know he was doing it. Apparently no one else could hear it either. It's so funny. Pongwing. The Pongwings are searching for food.
So, like, just Idris Elba going gold, 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 gold,
gold, gold,
gold, gold, gold, gold, gold,
gold.
Folding Ideas has his newest video is also very interesting. It's going into the career of another YouTuber called the Angry Video Game Nerd. And people who watch the Angry Video Game Nerd are like, oh, his videos have gotten bad.
Why?
But they just haven't changed in 20 years. Like the Folding Ideas guy watched like a shit ton of this guy's videos throughout like his career, and he dives into how it's kind of fascinating that his content hasn't changed in 20 years.
Yeah. Like just
And
with normal, you get better at video
yeah,
editing, it changes your style.
so it's like, yeah, so it's like, but he also, so it's interesting that like the audience complaining that they're not good anymore, but really it's just that audience probably outgrew the videos.
Right.
But
Or the
also,
contrast between those old style videos and the new stuff people are putting together just on TikTok is like more obvious.
and then it's also interesting from an angle of the guy who is the Angry Video Game Nerd started those videos when he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
And now he is married, has a child, and is in his 40s, but is making the same types of videos.
Right.
So it's like, and so he's not necessarily saying that the videos are bad. It's just like,
It's weird
usually
they haven't
people
changed.
grow and develop and change.
Yeah. Well, I guess if he's got a wife and kids and he's just kind of doing the videos on autopilot, there's no reason to innovate because it's like, well, it's working.
Well, the thing is the way he talks about it, it sounds like he does want to get better and is trying to innovate and just seems incapable of it.
Interesting. Well, I know I've seen.
I linked you to the Gold documentary video.
Oh, good. Gold. I'll try and find the one of Bumberbatch fucking up Penguin as a word.
And then,
it's very funny.
And the other one I just linked you to, I don't know, James Rolfe, is the one about the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Good.
The Angry Video Game Nerd one is a little bit rambly. Because like with the gold one, he's making specific points. So here's a clip to prove his point. Whereas the video game nerd one is like, so he did a thing that shows the back of how his studio is put together, and his studio is put together in such an inefficient way, but like it also is put together in a way that makes it hard to change. So like,
that's why
I understand why he doesn't change it. Like, so it's like, and he feels like how the guy puts his studio together is a metaphor for his
life,
whole career.
Right. It's like, you've made this thing, it's inflexible. It's difficult to change it, so it never changes. Fascinating.
Yeah. It is almost 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're coming up on the hour here. I'm done my drawing and just kind of noodling around with another one. So I'm good to wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Thanks, folks, for watching. Sorry it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
We've been busy, yeah.
That's good to be back.
We're gonna get back to these, yeah.
Thank you for joining
You can read my comics about gay werewolves in the future at kelmcdonald.com.
And you can read my comic about gaming at weregeek.com or check out my art at alinapete.com.
Right. Thanks, everyone.
See y'all later.
Bye.